We are live and also recording. Hi, everyone. I'm David, sometimes known online as iShotJR. I'm the community editor at Make. And while I got your attention, I just want to give you a quick plug for Make Volume 89. Just came out. It's a retro issue. This is actually my Game Boy on the cover, as you can see right here. Closest I've ever made it to being on the cover of Make, but I'll take it. This is available on newsstands now. Head down to your local Barnes & Noble or also at makershed.com. My guests today are Billy and Kevin from Tech Artisan. They are the creators of the Openterface Mini-KVM open source KVM gadget. Welcome, Billy and Kevin.
Welcome. Thank you to have us here.
It's great to have you.
See you
I
again.
just want a quick disclaimer. I've been having problems with my internet. I just had a problem just before we went live, which is why we're a couple minutes behind. If for some reason it glitches out again, I apologize. I'll be back as soon as I can. These guys are professionals. They'll be able to carry the show without me, but hopefully we can manage to keep the internet up for another 20 or 30 minutes for the rest of the stream. But anyway, Billy and Kevin. So we have met each other before in real life. First of all, let me explain. You guys are in China right now.
Yeah.
What time is it there? It's 3 o'clock where I am. What time is it there?
Yeah, it's 3 o'clock.
Yeah, 3
3
a.m.
there too, but it's
Like
3 p.m. here, 3 a.m. there. So you guys stayed up extra late to hang out with me, which I really appreciate. But we actually met at Maker Faire Shenzhen last November. And I don't think I knew what you guys were working on back then. We hung out a little bit, and I know we got some fun pictures together, but tell me a little bit about your background and kind of before we dive into the product, just kind of your journey to get to this point.
yeah, I just I think just the time just fly, I mean, already like I don't know, half year. And yeah, you was very busy in the exhibition in Shenzhen, and I trying to catch you a couple times, but you just keep drawing by different party, but eventually I managed to have a big conversation there, and I think we got a photo like together, right, with my team, like if you remember.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I think you was just so nice, give us so many cool sticker. And
I remember how pleased you were by the stickers I gave you. I will hopefully I'll be there again next year, and I'll bring even still got the
It's so cool, and my teammate love it. They especially Ben from one of our teammates. He just so excited and keep saying that. Oh, I mean, make magazine. Oh, cool! Like yeah.
I remember I gave a talk on the first morning, and I remember you guys were there as well and asking good questions as well. So I appreciated that. And are you in Shenzhen right now?
No, actually, our studio in Guangzhou.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, I knew that. I don't know why I forgot that. Of course, I knew that. Because there was a whole contingent of you guys that had come to Shenzhen for the show. Of course, I knew that. Awesome. Yeah. I made so many friends in Shenzhen, so I'm kind of getting familiar with the regions and all the different
no worry, I mean,
and stuff like that. So
travel to Shenzhen.
Yeah, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, they're so close together. I mean, we even building the subway connecting these two cities, so it's really just very close, super close.
Really? How long is the train ride right now? Like regular train?
Well, I mean,
the regular is
high speed changes
1 hour. 1 hour, then we can go to Luohu.
Yeah,
from Guangzhou East Railway Station to Luohu is 1 hour.
So yes. Speaking of which, is that it's so convenient for us, especially like Maker. Like we can so easy to jump on the train and get to Shenzhen to see our manufacturer over there and just do quality checking whether the part they provide actually is good quality. So it's give huge advantages for our studio to develop our this one mini KVM. And
fantastic. Yeah, I hopefully I'll get to come to Shenzhen again this year, and I'll stay longer this time. I got to do a little bit of I got to see Seed's factory, and PCB factory, and but I'm hopefully I'll add a couple extra days to my trip and come hang out with you guys and see more of China next time, hopefully. But yeah, Shenzhen was amazing. Like, it was absolutely mind-blowing, just like the pace, the people, the resources, absolutely incredible. So I envy you guys and your ability to build stuff there. So speaking of that, tell me a little bit about the KVM. Where did the idea come from? What was like your motivation? What was the pain that you were trying to solve with this?
Sure. There is another interesting fact is that the first time we met in Shenzhen, we actually carry our very first version of our prototype.
Yeah.
I meant to show you, but somehow I didn't manage to do that because probably I don't know.
PCB board.
Yeah, at that point we actually had our first version, and the funny thing is we use, because its first version is also kind of semi, how I say, solid by hand.
Yes, it's like a prototype. Yeah.
But
We still not yet have make the shell.
Yeah.
So
and then we use the white tape
to
to wrap over. It's just like that. I don't know, just look very funny, and I just meant to show you on that day, but I forgot. I think it's just too excited.
I didn't know anything about that. Do you guys? So I have one here, and you guys have one there. I mentioned before we went live, I've been I saw that the Windows version. Well, we're diving in too fast, but I just wanted to show people what we're talking about. This is what the enclosure looks like now. It's not just a wrapped up ball of tape anymore. It's very professional looking. And but yeah, I didn't realize that you had that with you at the time. That's new information to me. That's really cool.
Yeah, we go back to our why we have such an idea to make this mini KVM.
Mm-hmm.
So in the previous maybe in the last 4 or 5 years, our studio is working on some tech art. We are helping the artists in China. They are trying to build some art project. So you can see our original website is Tech Artisan. We did a lot of things like some lighting project, some robotic project, and robot arm. Very interesting. So because we did a lot of things, and we do the shows, we do the setup. We have a team to build up a very big project, and because of that, we use a lot of headless computer like Raspberry Pi,
just a nano. We use a lot.
We use a lot. We have a wall that all is the Raspberry Pi box. We have used, and because we use a lot of Raspberry Pi, so we will have some problem when we use it because there is no monitor, no keyboard. Sometimes it have problems like we don't know why we cannot connect to the network, or we maybe and then,
so especially if you're doing an installation, then you don't know the Wi-Fi, you don't have all that stuff you have in your home.
It also in quite often in exhibition they have lots of other Wi-Fi signal already, and they crash together, and all kind of weird things related to internet. So
the challenge at that moment, we are trying to go shout to everyone, who has the monitor, who has the keyboard, and then we cannot find anything. We are thinking. So we even build our small monitor.
We used to have such a small HDMI monitor
powered by the battery.
We build a battery so that we can carry around.
And then we do have a wireless cable.
Small one.
To carry out. But sometimes we never forget. We will always forget. Well, where is my small monitor? I forgot to bring it. But every time, because we go to exhibition for the setup, we will bring our laptop because we need to program it and make sure it will work. So at that moment, we will think about why not we just make a product, maybe just make a prototype to make ourselves easier. Then we bring it. That is called a KVM. Then we try to make our DIY version. At the very beginning, it's just a capture card and US HID keyboard and mouse simulator. Then we thought we can also put it together to make a PCB and also write our own software to make it work. So at that time is the first version. We bring it to the Maker Faire.
We meant to show off and a bit and just just to find.
But most of the people is interested on our previous art project.
Did you guys go to the Raspberry Pi meetup at Maker Faire Shenzhen? You should have brought it to that. I'm sure people would have loved it.
Yeah, we didn't attend that meeting, but Villa also in a member of our team now. By the way, he at the time he was in the exhibition to promote his PiCast KVM, which is a similar to actually it's upgrade of a Pi KVM. And he did like similar to our solution, but it's more advanced. It's network version. It's a KVM over IP. And that actually, in fact, that also was our first met up with Villa
at the Maker Faire.
In Maker Faire, and then
I love it.
Actually, they're also from Guangzhou.
So we're together now.
We're basically working together now, and he gave us a lot of ideas how to improve, and our approach a little bit different, but our solution actually is very similar. And also because of Villa, and that's why we go crowdfunding. We also know Cloud Supply because of him. He done quite many projects before in Cloud Supply, so he give us quite some suggestion how to do the whole process. And,
awesome.
and I'm very glad on that day. I mean, we know, you are one of the very important person we met there, and also Villa, and so surprised, and I'm so glad actually. I mean, the event like Maker Faire is just super great events.
That's I'm not paying these guys to say this. This is all organic. This is the first time I'm hearing this. So I love it. But so I think what's interesting about your guys' solution, which you kind of just touched on, is so when I think about KVM, I'm usually thinking about like in a data center where you have a bunch of servers and you have a little crash cart with like a keyboard, a monitor, a bunch of cables and stuff, and then you plug those into the server and stuff like that. But your guys is a little bit different because I'm holding up the sort of client and or the server end of this, but on the client, you just use your own laptop is what's interesting. So you don't need a separate keyboard. You don't need a separate monitor. Can you just explain a little bit about kind of how that works? I know you mentioned it's got the HID obviously for the keyboard and mouse, but how does the video part work? What's happening there?
Actually, the small kit inside there is we built in a capture card, like we can capture the HDMI video, and it will convert it into a USB camera. So like we can get the video from the server, the headless computer, and make it into a USB video. There was another component. It is keyboard and mouse. It is a simulator. It's using a chipset called C3939. I forgot the chip number, and it can simulate the keyboard and the mouse. And then we use a USB hub and to link it together and make it into a single line USB cable and connect to the computer.
So actually, speaking of USB, what I haven't played with yet is there's this other USB port on here. What can I do with that one? How do I use that one?
Okay, that one actually it's interesting. Because when we are using the KVM, sometimes because it consumes one of the USB port from maybe the USB from Raspberry Pi or
your laptop
from the computer. So we are thinking, oh, if we want to transfer some file from the host computer to my laptop to the Raspberry Pi without network, how can I do it? So we make a switch. The switch actually it is all connecting to USB hub between is bridging the host side and the target side. So when you toggle to the host side, the USB port is connected to the host, and then if you toggle to the target side, then we will connect to the target side, the Raspberry Pi side. So you can say I can put a file into the USB, and then I will release the USB, and then I toggle to the target side, the headless computer. Then you can get the USB from the Raspberry Pi.
Got it. So yeah, I saw the switch on top, but I didn't know what it was, so I didn't mess with it. And so basically, so right now I've got it on host mode, so it's just acting as kind of like a USB hub for my computer. If I plugged in a thumb drive, an Arduino, whatever, it would just be like it was plugged into my computer. But then if I toggle that, it's the exact same thing, but for the thing it's plugged into.
Yes, then we switch to the Pi side. So it's very convenient because we usually need to transfer file. Or sometimes maybe we want to maybe we plug in Wi-Fi dongle to the Pi, and that is very convenient.
Yeah, and especially in the case that, for example, for admins, SIMs admin, they probably need to like transfer file to headless device, like target device for I don't know, like 5 at the same time, but same file, and you don't have to like unplug and replug.
Yeah, that's so clever. You can just
all the time. You just need to like, so it's more convenient to have this switchable USB port.
I love it. Yeah, I was
designed it.
Even just having it as pass-through was great, because I was like, when I plugged it into my computer, I was like, my computer just has 2 USB-C ports, and that's it. Like, that's all it has on the whole computer. I was like, oh man, I got to give up one of my USB-C ports. So I'm glad to get back a USB-A port, at least through that pass-through. But yeah, the idea of toggling, using it to transfer files by toggling which target is using the USB. That is really cool. I love that.
Yeah. Once some of our backer understand the meaning and the function of this port, and then they start thinking, oh, how about go a bit further to change the toggle switch to like you can toggle in software level.
Oh,
and I
cool.
think it's a great idea, to be honest. And
so you could have a script that just says copy it on here, now toggle it, and now copy it on here.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what we already talking about, how to improve it.
In the hardware side.
But the thing is, for this version, we just think that because when people using this Mini-KVM, mostly is still with the problem locally. I mean, you have to
like us.
You have to like be with your headless device there personally, and then not much point for now to do the software level switch. But when we actually, for this Mini-KVM, we're already planning to like match the keyboard KVM as a VNC and through the host. So we're already thinking how to make this as a real remote control, like over IP.
Just like Pi-KVM.
Yeah, just a similar. And then basically similar.
Yeah, just turn to any computer with ARPIS and become a Pi-KVM.
Yeah,
so we even thinking you can use your mobile phone. For example, we wire Android version.
Yeah, I saw that there's an Android version in development.
And then plug this kind of Openterface into it, and then you can use your mobile phone as a Pi-KVM.
Yeah. So our approach is comparing to solution like KVM, such a KVM over IP, is
IP,
that we take the
capture really the KVM part outside the KVM.
Yeah, you know, you don't have to like depend on the Raspberry Pi in this case. You can change to any other things. Like one idea is that you can take advantages of your old computer, which is probably you never use anymore. But you can take this and then make it as the host computer, and then you can turn it into a KVM console basically with a mini KVM. And not only one, maybe you can connect to a couple of mini KVM, and then you can control more than one, target device at the same time. And
I love
the idea is that with a low cost, and then you can give a new life to old computer. And
I like the phone.
One of our idea.
I have lots of the Android idea. I have lots of silly phones, like for example, this that has a keyboard and stuff like that. I don't use it as my phone anymore, but how cool would that be just for like a little KVM for logging into Raspberry Pis and stuff?
Yeah, so we're already working on Android app already passed the proof of concept, although it's not our priority right now to do the Android app. And our current priority maybe is support for Mac OS, Linux, and Windows. This is the three very important system we want to make sure everything fine first. And then we go to build an app for Android and also Chrome OS. Actually can run through web, basically web app.
Yeah, we also did the PVC over you just use a website.
So technically it's
already
doable, but we haven't coded it yet. But we will get there. And the most interesting thing we also find recently actually is through the power of open source community. People are already testing whether our device work with iPad, because iPad, Apple device mostly they have very strict
permission.
Permission on connecting to the third party device, and it turned out there's a workaround. We haven't looked into closely, but we feel very positive about it. We actually can support iPad as well.
Yeah, the iPad using the M series, the M series chipset.
Okay.
It can. But the problem for iPad is that it can capture the video from the capture card. But the problem is cannot directly communicate with the serial. The serial port, because our solution is using a serial port to talk to the HID chipset. So we need to resolve the serial communication problem. But M series, it support with DIY with wire driver, and then we can talk to the serial port.
So the interesting idea here is that once you can support iPad OS and also Android, you literally can use your phone to control your headless device. And what's more is that we're already thinking about it. It's very useful for use case like people might be not that good at tech, but they can look for
old people.
Or I don't know, like my grandma or something. How to deal with the high tech, and she can just simply use her phone and with the mini KVM and connect to any computer.
Make a
call to me, and then I could just through the phone, the phone at the host computer here, the host, and then just controlling the target device, whatever it is, as long as can support HDMI video output basically, and also have a USB port, and then I can control it over through the phone.
I love it.
This is one of our goal.
We can even to control to the BIOS level to maybe do some setting for them.
Right. Because it's not software, because it's hardware. You can actually do it during boot up and stuff, right? It's not limited to once something is running on the target itself. So you guys have the Mac OS software, that's solid. The Windows software just came out like a couple days ago, I think, right? I just tried that out.
And we open source it.
And does the Linux, could you use the Linux software on a Raspberry Pi itself and then have a Raspberry Pi that is, used for?
This is I already working on it for more than 1 week and building the Linux version. Well, it's quite hard for us because the Raspberry Pi is quite actually the CPU that is not that powerful,
Right.
and there is a ARM CPU architecture, and then so I can very easy to run the Linux version on something like Ubuntu, OpenSUSE. So we already test just a few command line that we can. But in Raspberry Pi, it's quite hard because it bound to some of the video backend like FFmpeg.
Yeah.
It's quite hard to get all the dependency work.
So
I'm still working on that. Maybe last week from now, I'm still working on the Raspberry Pi. Once the Raspberry Pi version can successfully compile and run the video capture function, then it should be work.
Yeah, and I don't know whether it's a coincidence, but you just use Clockwork Pi to
have one.
This is exactly our idea, and I think it's super cool, and especially Clockwork Pi is so cool, and I think it's very good combination with our.
Yeah, I love these guys. Obviously this is a blast for when actually when I use this is when I was on that long flight to China for like a day and a half. I was using this all day long, but like when I get home and I have like a nice keyboard and stuff, I don't necessarily want to be typing on this tiny little keyboard. So it is perfect for doing stuff on my Clockwork Pi when I have a larger keyboard at my disposal.
Yeah, we haven't put it together, still just a Pi, but I'm sure I'm going to enjoy the whole process.
It's so fun. It's so nice. It's so well done. And I met those guys at Makerfair Shenzhen as well, and we've kept in touch since then too.
Yeah, and actually, when we half years ago, we already talked to them, and we already have the idea to somehow design a 3D print part, and then nicely can integrate with them together. And I think it's super cool. Yeah, I just need to. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they got the expansion for it.
And basically for like SIPs admin, they just need to carry this, and then they can control any.
That would be amazing if you can just walk around with your U console and then jack into whatever computer and completely control it. Oh, I love it. Yeah, definitely. Let me know when the Raspberry Pi version is working. I'm excited about that one. Is there any like features of it that we didn't really touch on? I know there's some sort of specs that we didn't really talk about, like it supports up to 1080p at 30 hertz, and and if you've got the right dongle, you can go all the way in the other direction and connect it to VGA as well. I actually have a 486. Where did it go? I actually have a 486, an old 486 on my desk right here that I want to try that with, because I've been using a VGA to HDMI adapter and just and having to use a separate keyboard, and so I'm really excited to try that with some of my retro gear. Is there any other features? I know it's got the cross device clipboard kind of thing, so you can copy and paste between machines.
So one of the things is very important when people using our Mini-KVM is that they basically controlling the headless device, which is have no internet, and quite often you need to do some some coding things on the headless device. So therefore you need to transfer the task from the host computer to the target device. And this approach, you have to like emulate, the task so that you can copy and paste. Yeah. So we have built this feature in our host application. Yeah. And what is more is that
the latest version.
Yeah, the latest version for Mac OS is that you can reverse. Reverse it, which is you can copy the task from the target device back to the host,
to the
you
host.
know, this is the advantages of
OCR.
the OCR built-in OCR
Yeah.
function in macOS. So it works very nice.
So if we can even copy the Chinese from the target to the host. Because you know that the Mac actually it built in all the language OCR. So for example, we are using Chinese, where we can copy the Chinese from our Raspberry Pi and paste it back to the
with actual proper characters.
Yes. Yeah, but the problem is you cannot copy Chinese from the host to the target, because from this direction, from host to target, is you literally simulate typing. You cannot just simply type Chinese like through
type by the keyboard, because it's the mechanism is quite complicated. Because we don't know what is the input method for the in the target computer, so we cannot simply just copy wire type of Chinese into the target. So there's only English and the symbol only. But this is already enough for copying passwords, you know, very long crazy passwords.
Yeah, that's the main thing. When I'm setting up like a new Raspberry Pi or whatever, I like have certain things that I want to set up on there, and I always have like, you have like, if you're setting up GitHub, for example, there's like, you need to copy the key and then copy that into your GitHub profile so that it's that it trusts your device and stuff like that. And that is always such a hassle when you're trying to set up a device headlessly. So that is really cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, so this feature is very important. We already making sure it was on you know, all our host application. But we are not sure Windows version whether
Windows but
can do the OCR. I think Windows.
I already checked the OCR. There is an OCR features in Windows as well. But I haven't really go into the code level to test it. But I know there is.
And Linux might be a little bit tricky. You need to like build your own OCR
solutions.
Yeah,
we need to find an open source, maybe integrated.
But I think you are very smart that you choose Qt framework for develop for Windows and Linux version. So basically share the same code. But you just have to pack it in a different.
Actually, what's more is that I want to use Qt to build the Android version as well. But but we already do a texting on the Qt. Is that also the zero port function actually is not quite work in Qt. And on another side is that actually we know how to build a simple Android program, and we want to make the Android version work both on the tablet phone side, and as well as it works on the Chrome OS. So we just keep up the Android version of Qt. We write another new Android version.
Right. So it's the end of May right now. The campaign ends on June 13th, so it's about 2 weeks left. I know you guys are already over 1,000% funded, maybe even more. While the stream is going. But you've got until, I was just going to say, it ships in September, right? So you've got a couple months to mature the software and add all these features that we're talking about.
We already visit different manufacturer already, and trying to make sure, you know, the production actually get a great quality PCB board. And also you know, as we already talked about, we're also making sure the software also work perfectly. And moreover, we are using, you know, the power of open source community, and lots of people already join our community, and
they already pull requests.
Actually already, even though some of them haven't got the device yet, but already, you know, review our code and give lots of suggestions, which is great. You know, I mean, I love the community. Seriously, I mean, I love you guys.
Well, so you know, with crowdfunding, it's always a bit of a, you know, you're never sure if you're going to get the thing, but you know, I've already seen it, I've already played with it, it already works. So I'm pretty sure that you guys are going to come through with it. And Crowd Supply is very different than, Kickstarter or Indiegogo. Like Crowd Supply campaigns, they deliver on the promise, whereas some of those other sites is sort of like you're never sure if it's going to happen. But obviously, we can count on you guys to deliver what you're talking about. So the base model is, I think, $79. And then the one that I've been waving around with all of the cables and with the VGA adapter, and this is special little case so that you can take it everywhere that you go and always be ready to plug into your computer is so I think that's about $110 with everything.
Don't forget, I have a very nice sticker here. Yeah, inspired by you. Actually, I make sure I also have very nice sticker for our.
I got a piece of paper and a tiny little quick start. I didn't get any stickers. What's going on?
Oh, right. Oh, sorry about that. I mean, because we sent that set to you very early, and I
know.
You're one of very early.
Well,
so I haven't got this one, but I will make sure you got.
Next time I'm in Shenzhen, I'll grab a pile of them from you.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we wanted to cover?
And of course, we're also improving our packaging.
Beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, and so
I love it.
Yeah, we're trying to make sure everything look nice as well, not just tech.
Yeah, no, nice is one thing, and another important thing is to make sure the quality. Actually, when we visit the factory, we ensure that the QC process.
Right. Yeah.
For example, say like
the cable. The cable is very important.
The cable is so nice. I love this cable. Like, this is a weird thing to say, but like it's so.
It's the silicon.
It's so nice. I love this cable.
I don't know. I mean, we also like love the feeling. I don't know, just like I don't know. I just feel like it's noodles.
Yeah, I feel strange saying it, but like that's my favorite USB cable.
But actually, there is a story behind. But when we put lots of this kind of the cable, it's run out of stock already. Yeah, and when we are trying to ensure that we found that actually there was some problem on this kind of cable. Maybe some of the manufacturing way of how to making it. We buy maybe just there is a few that this kind of cable is not working on Mac or the Mac product. But actually we found the root cause already. So because the reason is that because in a factory, when they're doing the QC, they are not checking all the cable, just random check, maybe sampling, maybe 3 or 5. And even when we double check on the cable, it works in Windows.
Right.
But it doesn't work in Mac OS.
Windows is more forgiving, probably,
because maybe at the contact point inside is it maybe there is a little bit the voltage dropped, and the Mac OS thinks, oh, this is not a regular cable. So
and Windows is like, who cares? Just go for it.
Then we make sure that the factory will do all the
quality check
for all
before our So we make such a very solid requirement on those quality
all the lights.
So there's lots of such a thing behind the scene how we have done to make sure the quality, and lots of story, actually quite some of them are challenging, but we're doing good. We are doing good, and also what important is we making sure the price is affordable for everyone. And many of our backer also quite surprised with our price. And I have to say that this is the power of crowdfunding. And as long as lots of people supporting us, we actually have the fun to negotiate with those manufacturers.
Yeah, because you got the volume.
And produce in a good quality and at the same time, very reasonable price. And that's why we can offer such a nice $99 for the 2 kits.
I see your original goal was $12,000 and you've made it to 10 times that now. So you guys are big time now. I'd said when we were backstage before we started, I said if there were any like funny stories or big trouble, points that you ran into, stuff like that. I feel like we already had a bunch of fun stories just from like our hanging out in Shenzhen and stuff like that. But was there any other like interesting or weird or funny or things that you wanted to share before we wrap up?
So anything
else? Any additional ones? I think we've done plenty. We might have exhausted it all. If there's any other fun stories.
Well, I mean, I want to share is that because our original idea was very simple, just trying to solve our own problem, and then this is the whole things how we started, just trying to solve our own problem first, just like as I say, we have to deal with a lot of headless device, especially in a very tough environment, and literally we have to deal with headless device in desert. That's a very interesting thing to share. and we built a robot dog, in the desert to explore the area by itself, and we have to asset to just a nano, built in just a nano in the robot dog to do all kind of coding. So
at that environment, you will never have a monitor, keyboard. Actually, and even you don't have a signal in your mobile phone.
Not even cell phone, huh?
So you can see that our work, I mean, related to those kind of projects, usually is quite tough environment, and that's all. This is how we started, and we're honestly we are none of us was work for, I don't know, data center, or we have no idea that kind of use environment, but once we build our prototype, and I share the photo in Reddit in Home Lab, and I have to say thank you to the Reddit community, and people give lots of feedback to me, and actually I realized that wherever we travel us actually is also good solution for sysadmin in data center. Quite often they need to deal with lots of server which doesn't have monitor, keyboard, and that's why we decide to bring this to another level, which is product, make it as a product. And through this whole process, and I doubt myself. I'm not sure it's really I should keep on, because especially when you find out how difficult for the whole thing to organize the production, and mention that I already have some of the similar solution on the market, especially Pi-KVM. Actually, I love Pi-KVM. We actually have a lot. We have a lot in our studio. I think already very great product. And some of people also kind of like
crash card.
Crash card or something. But the thing is, we realize there actually a need that people to do the troubleshooting in a speed, fraction way, instead of waiting for the whole Pi to start up. I mean, because whatever the solution have to have a Pi, you at least need to wait for, I don't know, like a couple of minutes to start everything. And also you have to connect to the IP. So I mean, sometimes you don't need to do much. I mean, when you want to access to the headless device, you just probably need a couple of seconds to just do something. And so that's why what our Mini-KVM come in, and you just plug in and play. You just do your stuff and move on and unplug that and plug it into the next headless device. And this is what what we realize is actually is a very good point. And this point actually is through quite a lot of argument actually. in Reddit, people kind of challenging us, but in a good way. We make it more clear in our head and how to build it. And of course, internally we also have lots of argument, discussion, and what feature is what should build in, and what people really need. And sometimes we don't know what people really need. And that's why we go to Reddit and that kind of community and ask people opinion. And people really nice. Honestly, very nice. They just give really a lot of valuable feedback, and then we actually turn those feedback into development. So what I'm trying to share here is I think open source is super great, and I hope lots of project like ours can do something like that. Yeah, this is one of the things I want to address as well.
I love it. I think that's maybe the perfect kind of message to end on. So just one more time, just to remind people where they can get it. Just head to crowdsupply.com and you'll see a link on the homepage, I believe. There's a couple different campaigns that are live right now, but just look for a picture of this guy, and you'll see the Openterface campaign, which is available for 2 more weeks and starts at $79. And then your guys' website is openterface.com, which is OPNTERFACE.com. And from there, you can get to, you guys have a Discord, you guys have your subreddit. Also, if you go to makezine.com, hop on our Discord there. We'll direct you and we'll add links to the video and all that stuff. Did we cover everything?
Great. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, and next time I want to have you guys come back on, and I want to see this desert robot dog thing and some stuff in the studio and other stuff that you guys
and also hang out with us in our Discord, and our community already growing, and people actually sharing lots of brilliant idea and feedback, and come to hang out with us there as well. And also have any question ask there.
Head over to the Discord. We'll see you over there. All right, I think we're gonna wrap it there. You guys stay on, but we're gonna hang up the
Cool. See you soon.